I want to share a story about my past because I think it wraps up the last 2 weeks of topics and discussions that I've brought to the table. It brings it all together in a nice little package. And it's a rare thing that I'll share a detailed story about my past because don't want to live in that vibration. I've processed those events, definitely don't want sympathy. But the rearview mirror is smaller for a reason. And I only bring them up because if I think that there's a good lesson, a healthy reminder, maybe a good punchline of insight for everybody. And like I said, I think it brings the last few weeks of topics all together around taking your power back, trusting your instincts. Doctors are practicing their craft, and how the nervous system and stress do play such a huge part on our wellness. And so if that might resonate with you, stick around. In June of 2005, almost 20 years ago, I was 19 and I was in a bed at a world-renowned hospital, and I was days away from having my large intestine removed and to begin the journey of a 3-part surgery lasting a span of 9 months. And so I was going into this first surgery, but a few days prior, I had 2 doctors come to me bedside and start talking. And they asked me, Megan, why do you think you're so sick? And I said, I'm not sure, but I do know I am so stressed out, and I have been for a couple years. And they replied by laughing at me. And in that moment, they taught that 19-year-old 2 things. They taught her that there's no way stress could play any part of this role in your lack of wellness. And 2, they reinforced the idea that I had been taught my whole life around not trusting my instincts. So I had the surgery. I go back home, and I'll skip around to me having all 3 surgeries, and I'm supposed to be all better, right? And I lasted 1 month post-op, and I was right back where I started. Symptoms were the same. I was back on a prescription. And it's not surprising to me because I didn't change anything about my life. I didn't change my stress load. I think I had a perfect storm of things going on. And to lay them all out, it would be my diet was poor, eating poor food consumption, drinking alcohol. I had parasites in my gut that I didn't know about at the time, but now I'm a big believer in doing routine maintenance of parasite cleanse. I had no mental health. I was definitely not going to therapy. And my relationships around me were crumbling, family and friends. And so I had this stress that was just adding gasoline to all these fires in my life, and had this storm of illness. And I share this because it is such a big deal. And I think we've come a long way, right? I don't think 20 years, the doctors know a lot more. And I think a lot of them do believe in the poison that stress is. And I truly hope, I'm going to believe that doctors would never laugh at someone who said that now. However, in the 1930s, doctors were prescribing cigarettes. So they are practicing their craft. And they only know what they know. And there's a lot more to know about the brain and the body that no one knows. And so it is a huge, important thing to remember to be your own advocate in your health journey. I invite you to take your power back and just understand the correlation of all these different things, these aspects in our life, and how they really come together and merge into our overall wellness. And stress can be that fuel to the fire if we let it. And so we must do whatever we can to maintain that stress, put it to a minimum, good stress or bad stress. Good stress can be can fire off things as well. But yeah, so I wanted to share that story because I think it just sums up the last few weeks of topics, and I hope it resonates with somebody, and hope someone understands the power that they have between their ears, and you be your own advocate. And if you need help understanding how you can better advocate for yourself, you holler at me and I will point you in the right direction.